Hello, I'm Milash Ravinsky and you're watching Break the Fake. They make them, we break them and tell you everything you need to know. Let's dive into Russia's latest reality show, Survivor, Kursk Region Edition. In today's episode, the brave people of Russia's Kursk region learn that, surprise, surprise, there is a war going on, and it's suddenly in their backyard. Who could have predicted that hosting an invasion would bring a surprise return visit? According to the latest updates, over 400 Ukrainian soldiers have taken a scenic tour of Russian territory, with another 2,000 just hanging around the border, probably checking that their visas are still valid. Reports say that around 20% of the Kursk region now experiences this unexpected Ukrainian presence. And let's just say, they haven't come for the borscht.
К фактам. Вы хотели фактов, их есть у меня. А хохлы находятся в Курской области. Под хохлами находится часть Суджи, райцентр. Да, это правда. Официальных подтверждений этого нет, но это правда. Есть танки, есть БТРы, есть колоссальное количество беспилотников, есть колоссальные проблемы с украинским рэбом. Да, это все правда. На войне так бывает. А были ли готовы, те части, которые находились на границе Украины в Курской области к этой атаке, судя по всему, не очень. Опять-таки, повторюсь, да, так бывает. Война идет на гигантском фронте протяженностью 1200 километров. Вот математика. 1200 километров.
You gotta love this Russian presenter. He is so charismatic. Sarcasm. Anyway, the local authorities, led by the ever calm and collected acting governor Alexei Smirnov, have declared a state of emergency because nothing says under control like admitting that everything is absolutely not under control. And in a move that smacks of desperation and a hint of bribery, Putin has promised to pay 10,000 rubles to residents who fled their homes. That's about $130, or what you may call hush money light.
Алексей Борисович, вы не так давно назначены на эту должность, не так давно исполняете обязанности губернатора Курской области, но жизнь ставит перед вами неординарные, сложные задачи по оказанию помощи людям. Здесь недостаточно только ваших профессиональных знаний, навыков и профессионального опыта, который у вас, безусловно, есть. Это требует от вас, сегодняшняя ситуация требует известного мужества, собранности на путях решения этих сложных, непростых, неординарных задач, которые сейчас стоят перед всеми ветвями и всеми уровнями власти, и в том числе перед губернатором и вашей командой. Ситуация в целом, конечно, мне известна. Тем не менее, хотелось бы вас послушать с оценками ситуации в области вот прямо сейчас. И несколько слов по поводу организации работы штаба и координации деятельности различных органов власти. Пожалуйста, Алексей Борисович.
So here is where things stand. Putin's grand scheme of chest-thumping nationalism has won local Russians a participation trophy and a free panic. And the grand prize, a reminder that actions have consequences, especially when you're the one who sets them in motion. Now, let's tune in to another episode of Russia's hottest new drama. Who's really guarding the border? Spoiler alert, it's not the Kadyrovites. So here is a juicy bit from the Kursk region, where the commander of the notorious Akhmat Special Forces, Apti Alaudinov, recently praised the Ukrainian military for its well-thought-out strategies. I mean, when your enemy compliments your tactics, you know you're either done something spectacular or there is something terribly wrong with your enemy. And in this case, it's definitely both. Alaudinov claims that the Russian forces didn't engage because, as he puts it, the Ukrainians were just passing by their positions. It's like those awkward moments in spy movies where the guards look at each other and say, "Was that an enemy just now?" Should we have done something? And yes, Apti, the enemy was there, and yes, you probably should have done something. At least I think you should. Then, in a moment of apparent existential crisis, he also added, God will not forsake us if we really believe in him, just before lamenting the loss of life on historically Russian soil. It's a real pick your battles moment, but it seems they have decided not to pick any battles and instead to rely on divine intervention. After all, if you've run out of military strategies, why not just hope that God is a fan of your work? Probably your work on TikTok.
Знаете, что интересно? Все ребята, которые наши подразделения Ахмат, другое, которое здесь находилось на границе, вот что интересно, они все до сих пор находятся на своих позициях. Противник, получается, разнес 2 мапа, прошел, вначале прошел уже без, как говорится, мапов, через участки, где большое расстояние от наших опорных пунктов было, прошел там, потом техникой, как говорится, уже напрямую подскочил, подъехал, танками, как говорится, раздолбал все эти мапы и прошел, получается, эти участки.
And there you have it. While the Kadyrovites stay rooted to their posts, perhaps updating their CVs along the way, the Ukrainian forces are out there attracting unexpected fans. Perhaps next time, Russia's strategy will involve less hoping for heavenly favors and more, actual planning. Now, in the latest episode of Russia's Got Problems, residents of the town of Sudzha are literally escaping through ruins, losing their homes, and get this, many of them have left behind personal documents. Because if there is anything worse than fleeing your home, it's fleeing your home and then trying to convince someone that you had a home without documentation to prove it. No ID? Maybe you never existed. Have you considered that? And amid the artillery fire and collapsing buildings, these poor souls have a simple plea for Vladimir Putin. Please, give us back our land and maybe throw in some truth as well while you're at it. Apparently, the local administration decided to take a nap in the middle of the crisis. They asked Putin directly for real action and truthful information, because as they put it, the lies mean death for civilians. It is actually a heartbreaking cry for help, mixed with the classic flavor of disillusionment that only a Russian official can deliver.
Уважаемый Владимир Владимирович, мы, жители Российской Федерации, Курской области, Суджанского района, обращаемся к вам. 6 числа на нашу землю зашли иностранные войска с натовской техникой. За несколько часов наш город был превращен в руины. Наши родные, мужья, соседи защищают Донбасс. Мы лишились земли, мы лишились домов. Мы убежали под обстрелами, бежали среди руин, многие без документов. Хотим обратиться к вам, чтобы вы... Хотим попросить помощи. Мы остались одни. Мы привыкли к обстрелам, мы поддержали СВО, мы помогали нашей армии с первых и продолжаем помогать с первых дней начала СВО.
And of course, in response to this chaos, the head of the General Staff has boldly declared that everything is under control, which in bureaucratic parlance means we may have to redefine control. Here is a hint. It doesn't usually involve citizens sprinting for their lives. So, as we can see, if you're Russian and your government isn't ignoring you, they are actively misleading you, probably. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure story where every choice leads to more despair. And now, a little topic called geopolitical leverage, or as I like to call it, how to really annoy your aggressor neighbor 101. Ukraine has now found itself in a particularly gassy situation, and no, I don't mean like after a heavy meal. See, Ukraine currently controls a gas measuring station in the Kursk region that's crucial for the transit of Russian gas through Ukraine into Europe. That's right, in a plot twist that even M. Night Shyamalan would find a bit much, Ukraine could potentially shut down Russia's gas supply to the European continent. It's like Ukraine has stumbled upon the classic big red button marked "Do not press unless you really want to mess with Russia," and let me tell you, it's a chilly button to push. So, as we look at this developing story, remember, in the world of gas supplies, Ukraine might just be holding the match. And with this, we conclude our episode of Break the Fake. But please do stay with us here on TDP World for more latest news and updates.